What a year 2016 has been. While 2016 may have been a bad year for a great many reasons, there was still a silver lining for all of us who enjoy video games. Across all the home consoles, PCs, handhelds, and mobile devices, a variety of games, great and small, released that each put a smile on someone's face. And I'm here to talk to you about those that did it for me. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof, and I'm here today to give you my top 5 favorite games of 2016. Note that these are my top 5, and are therefore limited to games I personally played. So, while some may be more deserving of Game of the Year status, they aren't going to be on this list, as I have no basis of which to judge them by. Further, this list will only include full title releases that made their debut in 2016. No HD remakes or remasters, and definitely no DLCs or expansions. So, with those criteria in mind, let's walk back through 2016 and see what games I enjoyed throughout the year.
Number 5.
Not only one of the few non-first-party games to release on the Wii U, but one of the very few games, period, to release on the Wii U. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, originally pitched as Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem when announced at the Wii U's launch, is a fun, silly, and very Japanese RPG that combined elements from both the Shin Megami Tensei and Persona games and the Fire Emblem games. You take the role of a group of Japanese teenage pop idols, singers, and actors in a very colorful and self-aware world, where its crazy, nonsensical plot confronts them with problems that are nearly always solved by friendship. It's sort of like the My Little Pony of JRPGs. Its pretty anime-inspired graphics, combined with full-blown music videos, commercials, Super Sentai shows, dramas, and other entertainment your cast stars in, makes up for the lackluster story. Plus, the turn-based combat, complete with its own random elements, with music videos and song performances interrupting the combat to deal massive damage, and the Fire Emblem-esque rock-paper-scissors weakness chart, are super fun to engage in as well as watch. If you would like to play a JRPG that has challenging combat and a world with an overall light and humorous tone, then give Tokyo Mirage Sessions a try.
Number 4.
Next spot on this list goes to Overwatch and Battleborn. Two games that are so damn similar that I love for very different reasons. I felt it only right to give the spot to both of them. Despite the internet constantly trying to pit them against each other, declaring one better than the other, I find them to be very different experiences. Overwatch is, objectively, very fun, if you're into that kind of only online multiplayer gameplay. If I'm playing it with friends, coworkers, or any form of acquaintance, or I'm playing it live on Twitch where I can interact with the chat while playing it, I have a ball. But I generally don't get into these online-only competitive multiplayer games when I'm by myself against randos. There is a story to this whole game, but I can't find it in-game. I have to go out and find the animated vignettes to get character stories, backgrounds, relationships, and anything else that should endear me to these characters. As it stands now, they're just unique-looking blank avatars, without much personality outside of tiny emotes and comments they throw out during a kill. I'm not bashing the game. I fully recognize it's a fantastic and well-made game, with short matches, quick respawns, and ability to change characters between deaths. Battleborn I love because it has what Overwatch lacks. For me, co-op story and mission modes, and you don't have to go outside the game to get backgrounds on the characters and their personalities. I've never bothered with this game's competitive multiplayer, so I can't speak to it. But the co-op, single-player story missions are so much fun. They're a lot longer than Overwatch's quick matches, so a longer time dedication is required. But In there is very Borderlands-esque humor and characters that I adore. Each character brings their own personality to each of the game's story's missions, adding their own 2 cents during the dialogue. And each mission's dialogue changes ever so slightly depending on which characters are brought in. The characters feel less like highly pretty and polished blank avatars to me, and more like characters I can invest in because the game, not some movie or vignette I have to go seek out, helps me get to know them and their overall goal. I hope you can see why I put these 2 games together and couldn't put one or the other above or below the other. I only wish more people would be willing to give both a chance and appreciate each for their own unique flavors that are both fantastic and fun.
Number 3.
Having never played the original Titanfall because of my previously stated uninterest in exclusively online competitive multiplayer games, I originally had no interest in Titanfall 2. When I found out it had a full-blown, honest-to-God single-player campaign, however, and I got to see glimpses of said campaign in trailers and gameplay online, I became very interested. Picking it up on a whim, I was not disappointed. Titanfall 2 runs so smooth and feels so fluid as you're running, jumping, and sliding around and through obstacles as a pilot, or even as you're barreling through, exploding and crushing enemies inside your Titan. The combat is fast, with something a lot of other FPSs lack, a sense of verticality to its gameplay that adds so much to my enjoyment of the game, as it opens up so many more avenues to experiment with during combat. As far as the campaign goes, even though I knew next to nothing about this world, having skipped the first game, it does a great job of filling you in and throwing you right into the fray without overcomplicating things with a ton of lore or backstory, just what you need to know. And the relationship your pilot, Cooper, and your Titan BT build up across the game is both equal parts fun and touching. Not since Batteries Not Included and Short Circuit have I cared this much about the life of a robot. And the game's story is an emotional rollercoaster as Coop and BT fight their way through ever-increasing odds, nearly losing each other many times, and feeling so much for BT when you hear him say,
"I will not lose another pilot."
I will not spoil anything for you here. I can only recommend you play this game, and between moments of feeling like a badass, be prepared for some feels.
Number 2.
My first trip into the Souls series, Dark Souls 3, was just as hard and challenging as I had been led to believe. Becoming interested in the series after watching the Game Grumps play Bloodborne on YouTube, I took my first steps into the Kingdom of Lothric and instantly got nostalgia vibes to games of old. While obviously extremely more graphically enhanced than older games, this game gives you next to no hand-holding. There's a brief tutorial road. Here's what the buttons do. Here's how you fight. Now, go that way and try not to die. Spoilers! You will. A lot. It really is Get Good the video game, and I enjoyed the challenge immensely. Set in a fantastically beautiful gothic medieval setting, littered with knights, dragons, monsters, and the undead, you need to figure out how to kill each and every one on your own and still survive. Even though it lacks the modern day trope of telling you, block now, dodge now, or attack the weak spot, brightly lighting up on your screen, there are contextual clues on how to defeat your enemies if you just take the time to see them and figure them out. Character creation is completely open, and you can make whatever kind of character you want, wielding any weapon, spell, or armor you desire, and you can play however you want, with only 2 goals set before you. Put an end to the undead curse and the cycle of the first flame. Oh, and try not to die doing it. Other than that, find the playstyle you like and have at it. This even goes for the game's lore, as it has a ton of lore, but it's completely optional, and you need to seek it out through contextual clues in the world, as well as in the descriptions of weapons, armors, and items you collect along the way. that doesn't appeal to you, then feel free to skip it. Play how you like. I've read online that Souls series purists consider the game Dark Souls Light, or the easiest entry in the series, as the combat was refined to be more welcoming to new players, but I still found it an, at times, frustratingly difficult experience. Yet one I had a load of fun playing nonetheless. Before I reveal my number 1, however, allow me to show you some of my favorite honorable mentions of 2016.
You face the High Prince of Hoshido, Ryoma! I challenge you! I will accept your challenge, but I'm no general. I am Crown Prince Sander of North!
You'll need all your training and equipment. With every battle won, you'll become stronger.
Number 1.
Originally announced back in 2008 as Doom 4, what we now just call Doom, or Doom 2016, was a game well worth the wait. As much as a hyper fan of RPGs as I am, I still have a soft spot for the Doom games. I even loved Doom 3, without the flashlight mod. You afraid of the dark? I can't see anything, babies. Although, admittedly, it went for a more story-driven and atmospheric tone than the previous Dooms, and it didn't feel very Doom-y because of it. When I first loaded up the new Doom, I feared it might be going the same way. But once you hit that first room full of imps, and that crazy, hard rock metal plays in the background, and you're just running all over shooting demons without reloading, and ripping them in half with crazy amounts of blood flying anywhere and everywhere, I knew what I was in for, and I loved it. It had an amazing balance between the story atmospheric elements of Doom 3 with the hyper-violent shoot-everything craziness of the originals, but with amazingly polished modern visuals and graphics, redesigned weapons, weapon mods, brutal kills, and even redesigned demons. While usually I appreciate and demand good story from the games I purchase and play, the lack of intrusive storytelling and loads of lore was a benefit here. The game was just pure gamey fun, and it ramped it up to the max, making you feel like the absolute badass that Doom guy was always meant to be portrayed as. With super fun gameplay, beautiful aesthetics, and a cliffhanger ending, I can't wait to see what comes out of this studio next. In the meantime, we still have this amazing game to keep replaying and enjoying, and I can only encourage you to do so if you haven't yet. Trust me, it's totally worth your time and money. And there you have it, ladies and gents, my top 5 favorite games of 2016. What games that came out this year did you enjoy? Were there ones I missed and totally should have played? Do you disagree with any of my opinions and assessments? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, however, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.